Hey guys, quick hit edition of GarageCast. Episode is named Where's Waldo, or better yet, Where's Sam? Sam's got some medical issues going on with his ankle that are preventing him from doing all the things that he's normally used to doing professionally and personally. So we decided to fire off a quick little episode, 10, 15 minutes of your time. Listen in and get an idea of where Sambo is and what he's up to. Enjoy this episode of GarageCast. This is a show for anybody that has something that they want to say. It's going to be full of people with a lot of energy, CEOs, OEMs, vendors.
Best practice ideas in this industry and of neighboring industries.
We're talking to people that are on the cutting edge of processes, management.
Serial entrepreneurs, authors. We really have a feast of all different types of senior level people.
A cornucopia, as it were.
A plethora, maybe. Grab a pen, grab a cup of coffee, and have a seat. Start writing. This is GarageCast.
GarageCast. Welcome to GarageCast. We got some stories to tell and some information to disseminate. I frankly am excited for this interview.
This is a not fun podcast.
I think it's all part of the process, right? I mean, there's a long process we're going to tell everybody about, but really this all just goes back to you being a China doll or a porcelain doll. And I'm not even sure that is appropriate, because China dolls are supposed to look actually attractive on the outside, but God forbid you touch them because they break. They're made out of sugar, right?
Well, so now you're retracting. So 2 years ago on the podcast, you said, oh yeah, Sam, he looks fine on the outside, but he's a porcelain doll if you go to touch him and he breaks himself.
I do remember saying that for sure.
Actually, you say he looks stunning, I think is what you said on the outside. He looks like a Greek god, but then you touch him and he breaks.
Yeah, whatever you want to tell yourself.
Whatever sure. I remember. Well, tell them what we're talking about. This is weird.
So we're talking about the ankle, and the Dantzler brothers, both Dan, his brother, and Sam have some ankle issues. Dan from, a traumatic car accident that kind of jacked up his ankle, years ago. And he has managed to, continue to live a relatively normal life as he can with a fouled ankle. And then, ever since you and I were, doing triathlons and marathons and such, you've had problems with your ankles, but specifically a big problem with one of the ankles. And it was just one of those things that I have been in the driver's seat of watching get worse for the better part of over 2 decades. So today we're talking about the ankle because it actually not only relates kind of to your life, but it relates to business and so on and so forth, right?
Well, people haven't seen me for the last 3 months. I haven't been at a 20 club. I haven't been on a plane, if you can believe that. It's been really rough. You mentioned my brother. His ankle was fused when he was 17 years old in high school when he fell asleep at the wheel and hit a tree on the way home. So he had a fused left ankle. And yeah, he to Tony, to your point, I guess when you're 17, this stuff heals pretty fast, or as best as it can. He played basketball. He used to run triathlon with us. He did a bunch of that stuff, right? He paid for it. He's paying for it now, but he still surfs and does some stuff. And to your point of being a porcelain doll, I remember one of the many surgeries I had on both ankles and legs and all. It seems like all my injuries seem to be waist down. But one of the surgeries, the nurse came by and she, before anyone who's been there waiting to go into surgery, you're sitting there cold under the sheet, like, here we go. And then people come by and check on you. A lot of them don't even say anything. They just look and here's, okay, everything good. Okay. All right. And then they walk away and she picks up the clipboard at the end. I'm thinking about the TV show Scrubs, right? And she picks up the clipboard at the end, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't say a word to me, looks at the report, goes to page 2, and then she goes to page 3. And there's nothing wrong with my blood work or anything inside. Everything that's on 3 pages is all the breaks and the ACLs and everything on the outside. Right? And she looks up at me over her glasses. She's just like, you are an orthopedic disaster. So I've always had that hanging over my head about an orthopedic disaster. And quite frankly, and a lot of motorcycle guys can relate to this, I just love to do stuff. And other than David Pearson, I probably have more injuries than most people I know relative to breaking stuff and doing stuff. And my right ankle, to your point, Tony, for the last 10 years, has been deteriorating because I broke it so many times playing basketball as a kid. And then I broke it, I just I just tore it up racing triathlon with you. I mean, I don't think guys our size are supposed to do Ironman triathlons, much less more than one of them. And so, just because in the moment I'm like, it feels fine. And here you are on the backside of it paying for it. And so I keep doing stuff. And the more I do with my ankle, the more I did over the last 10 years, that was just getting worse and worse. I knew it was degenerating. I knew I had to have something done. And I just thought the ankle, well, I don't know, dude. I just waited. I just kept waiting.
Yeah. Why would you wait?
Yeah, because most people would be like, well, just knock that out. But if you think about ankle replacement surgery, I only had two options, right? It was ankle replacement or ankle fusion, and fusion was or cut it off. And buddy, I almost came close on that one.
Yeah, that was for everybody on there. That was a weird conversation that he had with his wife, and then he was talking to me about that, which was, hey man, I'm thinking about, and I'm just sitting there thinking, shit, how about you give up biking or walking, maybe just do with some crutches, but he was ready to cut the damn thing off, which again, if you know Sam, that's a very Sam solution is we'll cut the ankle off.
Be done with it, right?
Yeah.
It was when that lady told me I was an orthopedic disaster. I was at Stebbin Hawkins at the last ankle surgery I had. And they could send, every time you go in for a surgery, they send you home with a folder. And on the front of the folder were three very happy people. Like they just came out of surgery on whatever their ailment was. And they're frolicking in the woods and and the one guy in the middle was jumping. He was trail running and he was jumping on boulders. He was bouldering from one boulder to the other, and he had a prosthetic leg and he was smiling. I'm like, well, then I'm doing that. I'll just do that. Right. So,
see, it's not just motorcycles. It's prosthetic. Oh, wow. Hey, look at that. I'll buy it. Sure. Let's go.
That's right. And now now they look like Iron Man to like deck me out.
Yeah.
No, but I waited because the technology in ankles sucked. When you talk about ankle replacement, they've been doing hips forever, right? They've been doing knees, but the further away you get from the core of the body, the more risky it is, the limited the blood flow is, and they just haven't worked out very well over the years. But then honestly, technology caught up. And Tony, as I shared with you, like the ankle surgery that I had done on June 2nd of this year, they do a CAT scan and they do an MRI. So they look at all your soft tissue, they look at all your bone tissue, they feed that information to a computer, and an AI builds a one-off ankle for that person. In this case, me. It was one-off based off of exactly how my leg looked, how it would fit inside the leg. Fascinating, right? Fascinating. I had the number one doctor on the western slope of Colorado, of all of Colorado and all out to the west. This guy, he's been doing ankles since 1997. And my next door neighbor, who's a surgeon, he's a neurosurgeon, works with him. And he said, hey, your guy is retiring this summer. So if you're thinking about doing this ankle and you want him to do it, now's the time. So that was the impetus for me not putting it off another year. So I went ahead and did it. For those of you who've reached out to me, I greatly appreciate it. The ankle itself is strong and structural and seems to be working fine. The problem is the complications I had were with the blood work and the fluid in my leg on the back side of it. For some reason, my leg keeps blowing up as if I just traumatized it and it wants to inflate with the swelling and get completely red. Why do I bring that up? You can't walk. You can't put a shoe on. You can't leave the house. You can't go anywhere. You sure as heck can't get on a plane and go to a 20 club. So
hey, wait, let's back up. You're leaving out a really large portion, which was I think the first month to a month and a half. The amount of pain that you were in and the amount of sleep you were getting. That's a big one too.
It was just over an hour a night. It actually went for almost 2 months that I couldn't go for more than an hour a night. And I was on all the meds, right? And I hate meds, and I wanted off them so bad. And Tony, as you know, I was walking around the house. I didn't even know I was walking around the house. I was sleepwalking. My wife thought I was crazy. I was going outside and getting in the hot tub at 2 a.m, just like maybe this will feel better. But I didn't remember getting in the hot tub. I was falling asleep. My wife would find me in the middle of the tile floor in the bathroom with all my clothes on, or the kitchen floor, something about a hard floor. I don't know, dude. It was a period of time where I really wasn't talking to anybody in that first month and into the second month. So here we are on month 3. I'm off of all of those horrific meds, but they still can't figure out what's going on with my leg and why my leg keeps wanting to inflate itself. I've been out of the house about, I think, other than a doctor appointment, maybe 4 times to have a dinner or something like that. And I had to see F1 because I had to see that movie. I mean, that's just called Top Car. I know that we thought Days of Thunder for all Gen Xers, we thought that was called Top Car, but this movie, F1, was called Top Car because the same people that did Maverick, Top Gun, with all the cameras, they put all the cameras on the cars. And I'm like, I got to go see that freaking movie. So I say all of this, please. I mean, Tony, you had to ask me to do this podcast. This is weird for me to sit here. Normally, I'd love to talk about my motorcycle trip or the yacht that I just got off of or something cool like this, but this is a little uncomfortable for me. But I want you to know where I've been and why. For those of you who've showed up at 20 clubs and been like, where's our moderator? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I want to be there, and I just can't right now. So it's been a little bit of a struggle. So Tony and the team thought maybe instead of them fielding a bunch of comments at their 20 clubs about how Sam doing, what's he doing, I'm fine. I'm just working through this piece right here. And we put this thing together just to get the word out.
Got it. So, what 3 months you've been down and out, which anybody that knows you knows that is going to be a super terrible thing for you. But what have you learned? What do you know? What's going on?
If you don't have bench strength in your organization, then you really don't have an organization. You just have some random people that happen to be working for you right now. It is incredible to me what not just the ownership team, but my whole team at Garage Composite. What are we, 20 strong now? I think we are. Just everybody just picked up the slack, First was Glow. She's like, oh, sure. Yeah, no, I got that Barletta meeting for you. Yeah. Or I think it was C-Ray was the first one. She just did Barletta with Schoolie. Tony, you're going to be handling one for me coming up recently. And let me tell you something. As soon as I can get on a plane, I'm going to get on a plane. For 26 years, I've been on a plane most weeks out of the year. And for me to be sitting here for 3 months, it really makes you feel like, that you're not pulling your weight. So I've been taking on some different roles inside the company until such a point where I can get back out there. So just super grateful to the team at GC. And I just want all the dealers out there to hear you may lose, whoever you're counting on in your department to run that department for the next year and hit those benchmarks. What if they weren't available for all the right reasons, but they just weren't available? Who do you move into that role? And what's the role you have for that person who wasn't available? So that's what I'm going through.
Yeah. So it's going to be everybody's hope that, Sam's going to get back out there to do the keynote speaking, do some in dealership and moderate his 20 clubs. But if in the near future you see yourself with somebody stepping in for those roles, just know that this is where we're at right now. And he's working to get himself back out there, which turns out to be a total pain in the ass for this company because now he's opening up, cabinet doors. Hey, what's this stuff? Let's put this in the sausage, guys. And here, I'll get my hands on the controls. How do you fly this plane? Oh, this is kind of cool. So, if there's anything you guys can do as far as doing some virtuals with him, keep him busy, while he's in his basement or in his house, please, I beg of you.
Wow,
please.
Tony, we did we just launched that Harley only Premier reporting group. We launched our new product, Premier Reporting. And
yep.
So I got to moderate that. I got to put together that meeting, and we'll see where that thing goes. But, I'm going to do what I can do from home to assist in some of those virtual meetings. And I guess they'll just have to have the second stringer come up from the little leagues and take over my meetings for a little while.
Or maybe ask for a real moderator once they see what one looks like. So,
or maybe run me out of town. Is exactly right.
Hey man. Just wanted to get this out. We're all hoping Sam gets back out on the road. Drop him a line if you want to. You'll see him back out there. My money's on him.
Yeah, like I said, the second I can, I will be. So hopefully we'll start with a couple of, there's a couple speeches coming up where I can fly in, do a 1 hour deal and fly out and not have the leg in turmoil for all day. So we'll see how those go, but I'll be out there soon enough. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, quick update for everybody. This has been GarageCast for Sam Dantzler. I'm Tony Gonzalez. Enjoy your Tuesday.
Have a great day, everyone.